Welcome to Country Fried Rock, where we talk with musicians to find out what inspires their creativity. Country Fried Rock, music uncovered. My guest today on Country Fried Rock is Drew Beskin of the District Attorneys. Hey, Drew.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm great. Thanks so much for being with us.
Oh, of course. I'm really excited.
Your record, Slowburner, is one of those, I got it and I put it in and I went, I'm never taking this out of my car. That does not happen very often. So I literally was like, yes, I get to talk to them.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's my favorite thing, too, when I get a record. I know, like, for me, it's more like one song. I usually, like, stay fixated on one song for, I don't know, for days or weeks on end. Like, I think when I heard Rilo Kiley's Silver Lining,
really?
This is what I'm going to listen to for 3 weeks. I went to school in Indiana, and I would drive from Atlanta to Indiana for 8 hours. I'm pretty sure, I think on one of the trips, I think I did that for Silver Lining, and I think one of the trips I did that for Houses on the Hill by Whiskey Town.
Yeah.
It was the first time I heard it. I was like, oh, well, this 2-minute song is going to on repeat for 8 hours.
Where'd you go to school in Indiana?
I went to Indiana University in Bloomington.
We are going to jump way, way back. How did you originally get started playing music?
I guess I've always liked watching live performances on television. I wanted to be a drummer. I wanted to be a drummer who sang, like Levon Helm.
Right.
I grew up watching The Last Waltz, and I just thought that was one of the coolest things to do. Like, take one when I think of singing, I think more of, like, if I close my eyes and someone said singing, I would imagine like a woman singing. I would find that as very feminine. And obviously like a tribal beat, like just drumming. If I close my eyes and someone said percussion, I would think, man, I feel like singing and drums together. I like that kind of perfect combination. That's how I felt, at least, because I got a drum set, wasn't very good at it, and I'm still not that great at it. I'm getting a little better, and also made so much noise that my parents always made me stop, so I ended up getting a guitar.
Uh-huh.
And after, learning a few songs, I kind of wanted to, the main goal was, just to more so impress myself than anything else and just try and, complete a thought and write something and create something that didn't exist before. Bob Dylan once said, he wrote because he wanted to find a song that he could sing, to match his voice. And then, Keith Richards, I grew up reading a lot of magazines, and I remember certain quotes more than others, but Keith Richards said, we're all just kind of contributing to the one great big song, and I always thought that was interesting. So ever since I was 15 or 16, and you have to be writing something. If you're not writing, if you haven't written the song in the next 3 weeks or something, then you're just a loser. You need to hurry up and write more. First it was like studying other writers, and then after it was just writing as much as possible. And now, up until now, just more of just how do you start over each time? Because for a while, I felt like when I've been writing over the last few years, when I've been writing, it's been more a continuation of what I've been doing, you can't do this move, or you can't, write about this subject because you already did that before. But now I've kind of learned, just start over fresh, clean slate with every single song. So it's been kind of, from the beginning until now, it's been kind of, how can I craft the best song? I mean, I'm no Burt Bacharach, but he's pretty awesome. He's written a lot of different, whole big range of different tunes. I kind of like that. I like the variety of the songwriter.
When you first started playing guitar, did you start out right away writing, or did you at least learn some other songs first?
Oh, I think I learned, when I first got a guitar, I think I learned how to play Back in Black, and then I think that took me about 3 years. And then after that, I started learning other stuff. For a while, it was just me sitting at the computer, just trying to learn as many riffs as possible, and just trying to be like a shredhead or something. But then I saw how cool it could be just with acoustic guitar and write something just even with a few chords or whatever, and I stopped trying to get so technical. And I don't think I've tried to be technical in a long time, because it's much more just like rhythm playing. But when I first started playing guitar, it was, let's see if I can learn this part. Let's see if I can learn all of Houses of the Holy or something like that. But then I think I picked up the guitar when I was in 7th grade. I don't even know how old that is. I might be 13. And I think once I hit 15, I was like, okay. When I started venturing out and finding my own music, not music that my friends listen to and that everyone listened to, not that this is any type of indie band, but when I discovered Oasis on my own, I mean, this is when Oasis was already done. I got this album called The Master Plan, which is an album probably just B-sides, which I think are much better than their other stuff. And I was like, oh wow, these are great. And I want to be able to do this, and I want to be able to write a song like that. Then I would look into, then I kind of stalk Noel Gallagher, and then I would see that he was talking about how Johnny Moore and Morrissey are the best team of songwriters. So then I would get into them, and then just everything like that. So just, kind of trying. At first, when I got the guitar, it was more of, okay, so Jimmy Page plays lead guitar, because I was just obsessed with him. But then when I was obsessed with Noel Gallagher, it was all about songwriting. So, and that's just kind of what I felt like I gravitated toward. And I feel like you can't really fail if you write a song, but you can fail if you try to do like a solo or something. People will find you out. But if you're being honest and it's complete for you, then the song is done, and no one can really judge you on that. Hey, this is Drew Beskin from the District Attorneys. Be sure to check out our record, Slowburner, available on thisisamericanmusic.com.
You also mentioned that you like to read a lot about music. Did you have particular magazines you liked?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I loved Uncut, which I believe it's from London, right?
Yeah, it's still around.
I remember just whenever I got out of school and I would go to like the Barnes & Noble near my high school, I'd grab an Uncut magazine, I'd grab a Rolling Stone, grab Paste when Paste was still around,
right?
Because I think they're just online now.
Yeah,
I realized there's then also like Guitar World.
At which point did you either start playing out or did you try to get together a band?
The songwriting thing was something I kind of did like throughout high school, just by myself, just kind of in my room, just kind of trying to build up a catalog, because I knew what I was writing was very good. I feel like it's kind of like just like training for a marathon or running. Like I know it comes easier to some people, but I could tell that this is like a muscle that you're gonna have to train. The first 100 or so songs are not very good, and I would say the ones in college weren't that great either. But that's when I got the courage to do some open mic nights.
Gotcha.
In Indiana, which was just me by myself. And then the only other type of band experience I had in Indiana was just playing bass in a friend's band. And then in terms of starting the band, that's once I graduated from Indiana, all my friends were still living in Athens because they were still in school doing that 50-year victory lap. I took a job at a restaurant and moved in with some friends, and that's when we started the band. And then, I think a few months after that, that's when we played our first show as a full band. But before then, it's usually just acoustic solo performances, just to see if I was able to, get it out or, be able to stand the stress of staying up and playing guitar in front of people and singing.
What then led to the formation of the band?
Our drummer, Chris Wilson, who is one of my best friends, but we went to high school together, and we, like in high school, we did like talent shows every once in a while, once a year, and we would play with friends. And we would do, I think we did a cover of Use Me, by Bill Withers, and I think we did Firecracker by Ryan Adams. That was our musical relationship, basically. When we always would go to shows together and we'd talk about music a lot, and then we kind of just casually say, hey, whenever we get, more than a few months together, we should, start a band or whatever. And by the time I got to Athens, I had recorded a bunch of demos just so I could give to him so he could listen to. And then we got the rest of our friends to join the band. And then now we have our band. There's 5 of us, and 4 of us went to the same high school.
Wow.
And, our lead guitarist was in our grade, and he's also one of our best friends. But he was in Richmond, Virginia, and he came on, I think, a year or two later, or I think maybe just a year, maybe a little under a year later. And then our bass player came on a year later as well. Most of us all knew each other for a very long time, and luckily we had a nice 6 tracks worth of demos for us to like kind of listen to, so we can kind of not start completely from scratch. And then from there we kind of just went off.
Are y'all still based in Athens? Y'all are divided.
Yeah, we're definitely divided. There's 3 of us that live in Athens, and Chris and I live in Atlanta, where we both have our regular jobs. We're both involved in media, so like social media and search engine, computer optimization type jobs and advertising, and that's kind of what we both major in. So we both have we're both keeping our 9 to 5s while also doing the band thing full time. And then the rest of the band are up in Athens. Our bass player is still in school, and then the other 2 are just up there working.
What's going to be the turning point for you?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe if Modest Mouse invites us on a 100-date tour, we'll just go with them, and then we'll never look back.
That would be good.
Hey, Sloane, it's Drew from the District Attorneys.
Athens bands in particular tend to have this whole thing of if you play in a band in Athens, you probably play in 5 other Athens bands as well. Is that something that's impacting the 3 guys who are still up there?
Yes, definitely. When I was living in Athens, I played. We had our band, and then I played a few just kind of joke cover band. The Athens thing is also not just a bunch of serious bands. You got musicians who are in real bands who just want to do fun collaboration, like cover projects. There's this thing I think we did like 3 or 4 times when I was living in Athens called Feathers and Smoke, which was came up with by Peyton Bradford from Future Birds. Just a bunch of random covers and everyone getting as many stringed instruments as possible and just kind of and for some reason people would come out to those shows and it was always a mess. It was really fun. And then our keyboardist and guitarist, and also he writes some songs too and does lead vocals for a band, TJ. He has his side project called Frank and the Stranglers, and that's him playing drums and singing, and then our bass player plays guitar, and then I play some guitar on that too. So there's another side project there. And then our bass player, it's playing in a few other bands up in Athens, the Falcones, and then they're off recording people who want demos or whatever, and there are a lot of different side projects going on.
That is such an institution of the Athens music scene to have not only the multi-side projects, but the whole like cover band projects. That it's even a category in some of the awards.
Oh, yeah, it's great. And, we always talk about how we want to do, like, me and a bunch of my friends live in Athens, and also just people in our band, we want to do, like, we just want to learn one album, like someone else's album, and just go cover it for one night and just do a bunch of stuff. Like, we want to do, like, a Big Star tribute and do a Replacements tribute and stuff like that. And, like, we want to do a female singer-songwriter, like, rock band tribute, and then, like, do a TV theme song cover band or something like that.
That'd be awesome. What do you like to listen to?
I listen to everything and anything. I really don't have a filter, right? What I'm listening to right now, I'm trying to think. I've been listening to a lot of the Arkells and Father John Misty, and then I still am really obsessed with that Surfer Blood EP, the new one, that 4-track Surfer Blood EP. But I mean, I was a diehard Prince fan by the time I left high school, and I was, paying $56 a year to be in his fan club, and was going to his shows by myself. Like I was the biggest Prince fan on the planet, which I know does not come out in any of our music because I would never let it get that bad. But I am a huge Prince fan, and it's pretty much everything. I'm also a big female singer-songwriter fan. I don't know if I mentioned the Arctic Monkeys, but I've been listening a lot to this Caitlin Rose cover of this Arctic Monkeys song called Pile Driver Waltz. And I thought that was such a great idea for a cover because when I heard that song a year or two ago, I was like, this is one of the greatest songs ever. And she made it even better, I thought.
Yeah, that was a Record Store Day thing, wasn't it?
Yes.
I think so. Love her voice.
Yeah, she's great. She's great. Do you like Sarah Watkins' solo stuff?
Yeah, she's playing with Dawes.
I was a big Nickel Creek fan back in the day, and I love Punch Brothers, and then I was always wondering what she was up to. I think she did some, at least not whatever she's promoting now, but I know the last record she did was with I think John Paul Jones worked on it, and someone like that.
Fun stuff. So, do you get out to hear other bands very often or not?
Yes, I went and saw Jesse Malin last week, much by myself, because I'm a big Jesse Malin fan and D-Generation, and I had tickets to the Father John Misty show, but I ended up not being able to go, which was kind of disappointing. And then, what else do I have coming up? I just saw that Surfer Blood's coming to Atlanta, like on a Monday or something, and I think that's in July, and I will be there in a heartbeat. I heard they're interesting live, as in they might not be that good live, but I doubt it. I think they're going to be great live.
So can you still like a band if you like their record but not live?
Yeah. I mean, usually, I feel like if you're in that atmosphere, especially if you want to see a specific band, if you're in a closed, capacity room and they're there and they're playing and they're not taking 5 minutes between songs, that's the only thing that bothers me.
Who have you seen that pleasantly surprised you live?
Waters? I didn't really expect that. Oh, and Delta Spirit. I actually, that's I think a better answer because I listened to their stuff. I wasn't that blown away by it. Sometimes I'm not listening to intently because when I went and saw them live, I was like, oh, I have to go back and listen to this record. And now I'm a big Delta Spirit fan, but I definitely wasn't before. And if anyone said anything about them, I'd be like, oh, they're not that big of a deal. But then I saw them, I was like, oh, I was wrong. Hey, this is Drew Beskin from the District Attorneys. Be sure to check out our record, Slowburner, available on thisisamericanmusic.com.
What has been the path for this most recent record, Slowburner? How did you all come about to writing the songs, recording?
Well, I guess maybe 3/4 of the record had been written just as we were building up our catalog for just like local shows or like little tours we would do.
Mm-hmm.
We released our first EP, I want to say like 2 years ago,
Right.
maybe 2.5 years ago, and we get really antsy if we go too long without any new songs. We just kept adding songs, and obviously not every song we wrote and added went on we thought was golden, but like after a while I think we had another 15 songs to our catalog or maybe a little more, and we were like, okay, I think this can shape up to be like an album. And then we wrote a couple more, and I think we had about 20 songs. And then we went in and demoed them. Well, we didn't go and demo them. Our DJ and Frank, DJ's the keyboardist and guitarist and singer, and Frank is the bassist. They had their own studio that they're building, and we went and demoed a bunch of the songs. And just so we could have like a frame of reference and see how we would like to tweak them or what we would like to do if we wanted to try them in different ways, slower, faster, acoustic. And after we demoed a bunch of them, like there were, I think like 5 that we thought were like cool demos. So we put that on an EP along with a Gillian Welch cover, and we released that. I think at that time, I think that was around October of last year, maybe a little earlier. But either way, we knew the producer we wanted to work with, but he was going to Europe for like a month or 2 or something. So we were going to wait for him. So while we were waiting for him, we thought we just released our second EP, which just had a bunch of the demos we were working on just to let people, I guess, check out the process from coming up with songs for an album.
Okay, that I have both of those, but that explains, I get it.
Yeah. So 5 of those songs, they all ended up being on the record, but we just, we record them, and most of them sound really different. And if they don't sound really different, then they're just a little more cleaner, I guess, or maybe less clean, which might have been the goal. Then we went to the studio, and with the 12 songs that are on the record, I would say we went and recorded 15. We cut 3 of them. We recorded everything, and then of the 15 songs we recorded, I would say about 75% of them went the way we thought they were going to go. Just like we knew what we were going to put on. There were a few like aha moments when we were doing background vocals or like adding a guitar solo or something,
right,
or some tambourine. But for the most part, we kind of had it laid out. But then there were about 3 or 4 songs that were completely different than what we thought it was going to be. There's one song on the record called Cherry Glow, which was a lot more rocking than it is on the record, because on the record it's got more of an Elliott Smith type feel, because it wasn't working on, because the way we play it live versus the way we were recording it wasn't really transferring to in the studio. But there are a few songs that we completely changed in there, which was kind of cool. It's scary and cool. Like we brought a horn section in just kind of on a whim, just to see if they could add any color to anything and kind of get that replacements type thing. And when we had the 15 songs, we knew we didn't want to do a 15-song record, so we hated to pick 3 songs and get them out of there. But we chose which songs had to go, and we kept the 12, and then we start working on the artwork and try to make it kind of play out like a coherent piece of art, or like a movie or something with a story to tell. Even if the song subjects don't really flow into each other, it's still my favorite thing about records is like, this is a song that everything has to say in the 2.5 to 4 minute range, and then I can go to this next one, and I'm feeling this song today, or I'm feeling this song today, and kind of have. I don't think all records need to be that way, but at least for our first record, we just kind of wanted to have a lot of variety, and we want a lot of different emotions and stuff onto one disc for this go around.
Several great musician friends of Country Fried Rock generously donated songs for a free music sampler. Download it at noisetrade.com/countryfriedrock. 19 songs to help raise awareness and money for Nucci's Space, a nonprofit serving the mental health needs of musicians in the Athens, Georgia area. Find out more about Nucci's at nuci.org. How did you decide on your producer so early on in the process?
Well, basically, just being in Athens, you got to make your record at Chase Park. Drew Vandenberg went to Indiana University, which is kind of where I first heard of him. And then our friends in Future Birds did a record with him. And then he, I got to know him a little better when I was living in Athens. And then a few of our other members have been interning at Chase Park. And we just knew we liked him, and we liked his style. And we just wanted to make it with someone that we were friends with, and who we knew that could get the job done.
What did that familiarity bring for you all in that studio process?
It made things a lot easier in terms of like, if we were disagreeing, we weren't like being passive aggressive or just saying like, I think it would be better this way. Like I was allowed to get on my knees and like scream like, please, you can't do this to me. You have to turn my vocals down. They can't hear, they're supposed to hear me, but not that much. Or, or this guitar has to go up, or this is supposed to sound more screwed up than it's not supposed to be this clean. Like we were able, and then he was very comfortable with saying, no, you're a moron. I know you sound like a crazy person. Trust me, it will work. And then it was a lot easier to communicate with each other. And like, I feel like if we went in with someone that we didn't know that well, we probably might have agreed to do something that we weren't comfortable with, but we would do it just to avoid any awkwardness.
What's your live show like right now?
Mostly we're playing stuff from the record, but then also we already have a few new songs, and we're hopefully going to start incorporating a few more, and then we're still doing some old songs, and we whip out a cover every once in a while, but it's usually, just running around, switching instruments, and just making sure people can hear the guitars. We're constantly trying to make sure that our harmonies are in check, and that we're keeping everything flowing on stage. We all get very uncomfortable with any type of silence that's longer than 30 seconds. So we like to cram as many songs into a set as possible. Because I think unless we're doing like a hometown show, it's usually us doing a 45-minute set, and we would like to get as many songs into that set as possible. So without rushing anything, we're definitely trying to get as much out to people as possible and trying to leave it all out on the stage. Our type of music isn't the type that's like, it doesn't have like a huge, obviously doesn't have a string quartet or anything like that. And we're not using crazy synthesizers or creating any type of atmosphere. We're just it's all about like the song and like it's not pop. It's the pop song. You get in, you get out, and you're just trying to deliver it like bare bones. So it's bare bones indie pop, as much energy as we can put into, any 45-minute to an hour set. Hey, this is Drew Beskin from the District Attorneys, and you're listening to Country Fried Rock.
Has anything changed since the record was released in how things are performed live?
Oh, yeah. Yes. The song at the end, we definitely changed that for the record, but now we're back to being, I think, how we created it live, which was more of a heavy rock song, but still like piano-based. And then California Fire, I think we're kind of making it more like a Tom Petty indie pop song thing, kind of like make it a little more upbeat and a little more, kind of make it breathe easier live and just be a little more fluid, I guess. Mm-hmm. But in terms of, and there's songs like Worry About Your Health that we don't try and like, this has to be just like the record.
Right.
And we definitely don't really abide by that. There are a few like riffs or, harmonies that we like to, that we kind of abide by, but for the most part, we try to, we don't like play the same guitar solo. We don't keep the same tempo for each song. Sometimes if we're feeling that we might go a little faster on a select. Sometimes our song called Madison Row, sometimes that song, instead of being 2.5 minutes, it's 1.5 minutes because we're super speeding up. But, we're just trying to find that balance between doing the song justice and also letting the live performance be different every night and kind of take its own shape depending on the crowd and the venue and the weather.
What type of venues do you all love to play?
As of right now, I think our favorite place to play is the Earl in Atlanta. And then we opened up for Centromatic at Georgia Theater, and that was our first time playing there, the new Georgia Theater. And that was a pretty nice venue. It was pretty fun to play.
Yeah.
And, and then we like Masquerade, actually. And, we played in New York at Pianos. That was pretty fun. We really liked that venue. And then we played in Austin at Hole in the Wall. That was, it was more the atmosphere in the venue, and everything together just kind of made it a great experience. And that's, if a show could be perfect, where would I have it? Where would we play? I would probably pick the Earl just because I love the temperature in there, and I just love how the lights hit the stage and how it gets out to everyone in the audience, and it's a kind of a smoky feel, but it's not. It doesn't really feel that way sometimes. I'm a big fan of the Earl.
So when y'all are together, what's the vibe in the van? Are you all people who listen to music together, or is it got to be silent, or everyone on their headphones, or?
It all depends. It depends on how everyone's feeling. Like think when we went up to Austin and we did like a little tour on the way up to Austin, I think that was a 10-day tour for us. Usually the people in shotgun, other people driving shotgun, they're man the iPod, and then they're listening to music that they want to listen to, and every once in a while, like we all agree on a lot of things. We all agree on Arkells. We all agree on Glossary. We all agree on Ryan Adams. We all agree on, Five of Us, and we're usually taking one of those big bands that there's usually someone's lying in the back, maybe reading a book. I know on my way back from Austin, I laid in the back and read that second Hunger Games book.
Oh, wow.
Which I'm ashamed to say. But it's pretty good. Sometimes we'll listen to a podcast. We're big podcast fans. I'm a big Adam Carolla fan, so I like to listen to him. We're usually all like getting and talking about music and getting on the same wavelength in the van, or someone that's just kind of like sleeping or just kind of in their own zone, or we're just talking about what are we going to like when we get to this venue, what are we going to do, or like when you get this radio station, or we got to call them, or we got to figure out where we're going, or where are we going to eat. Is that a Triple D restaurant or not? Because if it's not a Triple D restaurant, we're not going.
What's a Triple D?
It's the Diner, Diners and Drives, or whatever.
Oh, yes. Show. I love that guy.
Yeah. If he doesn't approve it, we usually don't go to it on our road trip. Hey, this is Drew from the District Attorneys. Be sure to check out our website at www.thedasmusic.com. When we went to, I think we were going to Arkansas, we stopped someplace in Tennessee. I have a bunch of cups from there, but they're all the way upstairs in our kitchen. But we went to this place called Gus's Fried Chicken, which was probably our favorite. That has been our favorite food stop so far, because they said it was the best fried chicken ever, and it actually was the best fried chicken ever. This place was like serious fried chicken. Like, yeah, we'll give you beans or coleslaw, but you really don't need them because you got the chicken.
Because you got chicken.
Yeah.
We have to check that out. Gus's sounds good. What do you think is the next step for the next record?
Right now, like I have a bunch of songs that the band hasn't even heard yet, and we're just looking for a time when we can get together and work them out. And also, I kind of want to demo some of them. So there's a difference between here. I have this song. We all have our instruments out, and I'm playing a song that we're all learning it kind of at the same time, and then demoing it and giving it to the band, and they kind of listen and come up with their ideas, not on the spot, but kind of let them mull it over.
Right.
We're just trying to find time for all that stuff. We do have 8 songs right now that we would like to at least release. Some of them we're probably going to work on another EP to hopefully release by the end of the year. I would think we're probably going to start figuring that out in July or August, and hopefully record sometime in September. And then after that, the new record should probably shape up. I'm really not sure how we're going to approach it, because me personally, I have a long list of songs and trying to figure out what I want to work on, and if how at least I see as a songwriter this band going. But I mean, we're all just really eager for some new stuff, and we kind of wanted to take its own shape. So 3 months for us feels like a long time, but then again, it's not a long time. So we're trying to see how we're feeling. But either way, we're still coming up with new songs, and we're still trying to improve. Always the goal. We don't want to stay in the same place. We also want to be very confident with our next output, because we want it to be better than anything we've done before. And we think these new songs we have right now some of them are better, and some of them are really good, but we don't think they deserve to be on the official new record or anything like that. So we're kind of just toying with those emotions right now.
Sure. Do you throw any of those in live sets or not?
Oh yes, definitely. We like to throw in at least 1 or 2 new songs. We at least like to do one song that no one's heard before, just to get a reaction like that. Yeah, I really want to go on the road for 100 dates or something, and then have the big old back catalog of songs, and then do one new song every night, no repeats, and it would do a test like that. I like that idea. It's pretty cool.
Thank you so much for donating a song for our sampler for Nucci Space.
Of course.
Such a great project, and we are very thankful to you all. Y'all take it easy. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
Country Fried Rock. Find the full playlist from this episode on countryfriedrock.org. Check us out on iTunes. No music, just talk. Our theme music is from The Full Tones. Our Country Fried Rock stinger is from Steve Soto and the Twisted Hearts. Country Fried Rock. Copyright 2012 by Lilypad Productions. All rights reserved.
Ever he been helping us some country fried rock?
Hey y'all, it's Sloane Spencer. Thanks so much for finding all these new old episodes of Country Fried Rock. I've got something completely different available these days called Sleep with Rock Stars. And it all started from a listener comment back in the very early days of Country Fried Rock who said, I slow these down to 75% and fall asleep to them. And I was like, well, over the years I started thinking about it, and I recently started Sleep with Rock Stars. It's the Gen X Sleep Podcast, and you can find it at sleepwithrockstars.com or your favorite podcast app.